Come on, Betty. Betty don't want to go. We're gonna have to work on Betty. It's got an electrical diverter valve. It always gets kind of, this plug-in gets hooked on tree branches, so try zip tying it, but these are the only zip ties we got here. There we go. OSHA approved. Now, it doesn't happen often, but I remembered to film what it looked like before we started. Somebody else was already in here and did the underbrush, and I mean, honestly, they left some really some goofy stuff around here. Like, what the heck? Why would you leave that right there? It's not even like out of sight. It's plain obvious. But we got 30 plus trees to go. Crank it more. Oh, yeah. Let's see if he gets it this try. Maybe. One hour in, almost got a load. Like, big excavator barely fits through little trail. Haas is gonna drop another big one pretty quick here. Needs to tune up the saw.
Alrighty guys, officially welcome to the channel, welcome to the video. You just saw the big excavator coming back to life. We have not used this machine on a job in 2 years. Not because we didn't want to, not because it was broke down. We just haven't had a job that really called for it. And this job we're on right here, we're going to be prepping for a new home. So we're clearing the lot right here. I believe this is the house pad. And then to the left, our new skid trail will be a driveway. But these trees are right at 4 feet on a stump. And every one of them's 130 to 150 foot tall. So the bigger excavator is definitely needed on this one.
No top in that old girl. Oak tree still alive. Kinda. 3/8 inside the bark.
Got her?
Yeah. Still matched her up pretty damn good.
I would say perfect.
Start your own channel called Tree Perfect. Chainsaw, go ahead and work her up. Three. Easier on the equipment. You're gonna try to pump the knots. Put your blade down another foot. There you go. You can slide that thing up another. Yeah. It's doing a wheelie right now. Driving over a little stump. Reason why we cut that one in half, I think I can move a 33 off the butt of this thing, but get up here, I'm not going to be loading this on the logging truck. Self-loading logging truck does it, so it's easier for him to load the 16 rather than try to fight 33, or I'd have to come up here and help him. Yeah, you can chew up the log pretty good, but this log's not terribly heavy. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. It's definitely a big bird. Not quite 1,000 board feet for guessing on her. Alright, I gotta go back to work two-handed. Got this nasty dead tree and hung up the other one. It pulls on a little bit with the excavator, but it's got a rope in it. So we're gonna pull it out, just let it fall while we're far enough back. Came off that tree I was leaning on a little bit. Yeah, that's just gonna break that rope. Yeah.
Oh shit.
And he backed off 4 feet on that 4 rope. Yeah, it's pretty far, pretty far. Yeah, go ahead and cut a 32. 32 pound. Smell it. Yeah, that thing definitely doesn't blend in with the ground. There you go, coat cheese.
You're a better bullshitter than me. Trying to get some dirt on it. Yeah. Swing it way uphill. Oh, she broke in here somewhere.
Okay, this tool is called a Raptor. It's a power ascender, and Dad used it to go up there and set two pole ropes, a 40,000 pounder and a 20,000 pounder. We're after the second tree in this photo. It was leaned back over 20 feet, pretty nasty leaner, given the fact the tree's over 130, 150 feet tall. You can see it versus the one in the front. While I was gone, I had to go run to go pick up something at the range. Dad uprighted this thing, made it vertical, and I showed up just in time to help him pull it over the final little bit. This was a pretty good pull. You can see he's got two jacks down on the bottom, and like I said, two 20,000 pound tractors assisting it.
Update on this job. Got the big X out here. Got the 080, which is now the small X apparently. And the Prime Tech shipped 4 loads off the first 2 days working out here. Believe that they're going to be putting a house right down here. Somebody came through, I think I mentioned it already, and they masticated all the underbrush, but they left a lot of big chunks, and they didn't leave it very pretty, but they might have just been hired for opener up, and then we came in and got those logs out. But that one that Dad was going up this morning, I had to take off. I came back and helped him get her on the ground. Thing had a 20-foot back lean on it, and we hooked 2 machines on it, and he double jacked it, pulled it up the hill there. So I'm gonna have to fire up big boy so we can get that big log out of here. Doesn't even look like a big log next to the excavator. No, it weighs more than 10,000 pounds. all the people that always say, oh, you guys need a bigger tractor. We need bigger jobs. We're going to use a bigger tractor. I know there'll be people questioning what Grapple's on it. What brand Grapple is this?
Valby.
Valby. Is it slow motion?
Italy, I think.
How far does this one open up? You remember the specs?
Close to 6 feet.
Yeah. This thing is nice for big logs. Little stuff, it's got these teeth that grip the big logs, which is nice. I even filed them down because the little logs, it grabs them, makes them do weird stuff. You can't just let go of it like you can with the Kubota's excavator. That one, it's got, I don't even, damn it, I used to remember all this stuff. What brand Grapple is that one?
ICM or?
Yeah. The Grapple always takes like the most abuse because it's opening and closing so often, so keep her good and greased. But just back up so people get a little bit of an idea of how big this thing is. It's not a huge excavator, but just having me stand next to it in a hole there, it's not a small unit. But it can move. Like, look at the log here that I was moving with earlier. I showed filming this one just a little bit. At least 3.5 foot crosshair. Look at it. That's a grizzly dog right there. That's a big dog. Get a tour of office here. For anybody that's wondering how the rotating grapple works, open and close, it's a foot control. I don't know if these things used to do something to it, but they don't do it now. We can't figure it out. But anyway, foot control. And then to make the rotator work, they hit a button over here, and then boom, boom. Let's go get some logs. So this machine is 2003. It's got 3,200 hours on it. It seemed like we've hit more hours on it than what it's got. We might have put 350, maybe 400. I can't quite remember how many was on it when we first got it. But somebody locally was selling it, and Dad liked it. Mainly because it's got the 6-way blade on it, and that's pretty neat for a bigger size excavator to have a blade in general, but this one's got a 6-way blade. Get this log up out of here. Heat and AC in the cab. Heat works good. Air conditioning in the summer works alright. Wondering why I don't just have a skidder on this job, because probably have to have this here anyway also. So for the amount of logs that we're going to be moving and the distance we have, it's just easier just to have this here. Doesn't have enough sloop air. Log's 33 feet long and I don't know, over 40 inches on the butt. Not a little log.
Okay, right here is exactly why I mentioned the skidder. And why we don't have the skidder? Because if we had the skidder, pulling logs into this limited space landing like we got right here, it could have been possible. But for decking them, it's just easier just to have the excavator here. And if we're going to bring the excavator, I might as well just skid the logs. We averaged about 2 loads a day, Dad and I. This bigger wood, that is skidding, you know, cutting, bucking, skidding, blah blah blah, all the stuff, and cleaning up the brush. So there was nothing left over other than a log deck and mulch by the end of the day. And I'm just really struggling with this because it's hard to actually tell, but if you saw the video of me hauling the equipment in on this job, I'm on a decent little transition coming off the road up there. My gooseneck trailer was dragging bottom when I turned around right here. The lowboy, I didn't film it because I was kind of in a hurry. There actually was a little bit of a traffic jam after we dropped the excavator here off, but he got down in there and he hit just a perfect spot so he didn't bottom out, and somehow even, you know, I'm pretty sure he locked up front and rear drives and all that. He just crawled out of there like a Jeep, and I had to 4-wheel drive it out of there. So good job, low boy. Alright, let's go get a different log. We struggled with that one long enough.
Another big boy with a pretty decent back lean, and there's a house right there. So got the Cabelco staged up to push on her, and gonna have a jack in there just in case anything gets weird, and wedges for safety third. But I gotta go move little guy and grab a chainsaw and stuff. He's gonna make her own hallway right through here.
You see a gap between the excavator?
Funny how a tree that just looks like complete crap was able to grow like that.
Kind of a bummer, this big old log right here with the big old grizzly dog on it. You see what she's sniffing right there? That's an insulator. And here's another one they put in many years later. We ended up cutting out 4 feet of that log because it was junk with metal in it. Couldn't use it, couldn't get the metal out. But now we're going to be pulling over another one with both machines hooked to it. This is the one's leaning over the neighbor's house, which we actually, the last time we used the Big X was at the neighbor's there.
Yeah, that one's tight. Blue one's 40,000 pound pull rope. Let's see here. Not that pine tree, but there's one behind it we're gonna snake alongside that's leaning kind of towards the neighbors. And before they build a house here, it'll be nice to get rid of whatever they can that's potential danger. Well, it's easy to get it out, but just to be safe, got the little 20,000 pound pole rope hooked to the 080. I'm gonna check the 080s. See how tight this one is. Oh man, they're both tight. We'll be ready to rock. Pick up this whole top. You're taking down the dead one, right? Oh yeah. Heads up.
Drop the log, land it on the blade, stand there.
Quick time lapse of Andy loading the logs onto the logging truck. That self-loader boom, if you guys could not tell, is a Haas. It was picking up those logs that the 40,000 pound excavator is having trouble dragging across the ground. Obviously, his rig's designed for it. Mine is a dirt digger that we put a grapple on it, but we're making it happen. But Andy can haul less than a normal logging truck because he's got the boom on there. So his weight is limited to 80,000 pounds. So he can only haul about 40,000 pounds worth of logs.
Well, this is a spot that we started the job at that I showed you. We're going to have to go back over all this once the logs are moved out. But he's taken the center row of knives off, I think. Unless plans change, because they already added to this job, which is fine. We just alter the price and everything, and not a big deal. Don't mind doing that, get it all done while we're here. But talk about this guy, kind of the hot topic of this video. Big iron, kind of. Been good. Didn't have any problems at all. Everything worked out just fine. Didn't break no hoses. My little zip tie technique kept that fine. It's easy just to have a plug-in like that if you're just going to be taking on and off. I know they make certain stuff for that, but that's what we got. And that's what I put on everything that we have. One of these grapples. But didn't overheat. It had issues with that before, but I took the radiator out at one point and cleaned her all out, and this thing ran perfectly cool. Plus it's winter time, so yeah, no issues with it. I'm glad that worked out, because we were not going to be able to move the them logs with the 080. But this is what it's going to look like down here. It's going to get a bunch of dirt work and stuff later on, because I believe the house pad is going to go pretty much where I'm standing. Knocked in a road right over here for the driveway. The 080's freaking awesome. I still doing the brushwork and stuff, moving it all around, setting it up for the Prime Tech. Use that every time. You'd think, oh, the big guy can move more. Yeah, it's just better at moving the bigger logs. The finesse of moving a little brush and lining stuff up for masticator kind of sucks. So I just, I probably use that one just as much as I use the big one on this job, but you guys seen that one plenty of times. So this would have been a perfect run for that new track chipper, but we didn't get it until yesterday, and we were already done with all the small stuff. The power company is supposed to come in, and we still haven't really figured that out, but they're going to knock out a hallway right through there. I don't know why they're doing it, but I guess the guy's saving some money having them do it for free, but we probably have to clean up the mess and skid the logs to get it out of there. But what the problem here is, there's a seasonal ditch right here. It's an overflow from a pond dam. Now, for logging operations, we're not supposed to go within 25 feet of that with a machine. We go down there and hand cut and drag it out, which is what we're gonna have to do with all these little ones. I'm not even gonna film that because it's just gonna be a little bit of a hassle. But if I wasn't doing the logging here, I could go over there and do some thinning, some mastication work, and I could just use the mulcher head. I'll put the seam off on the 080 and go over there, and I can grind up all those. One machine, we'd be done, but now we got to drag it all out. I believe this was the, no, this wasn't the super leaner. That was the super leaner. That one was the one that was leaning back over 20 feet. It's a lot here in this window here, but yeah. No, this one was the easy one. This one I filmed next to him. That one is a super leaner right there. He had both jacks in there, 2 machines hooked up. I think I did a voiceover of that in this video for you. This job worked out pretty good. Got done a little bit ahead of schedule, I guess. Not quite done, but we'll see if they add that on for our, you know, while we're here. It would make sense if they add that, but they already added one day. That's what we spent today doing. Those trees that I filmed today, those are all add-ons. And we managed to do all that and still kind of left a little bit of a buffer. You can see the stump right there where that one tree went through, and there was one slightly down the hill from it. But we managed to still maintain a good little mini tree line right there with them cedars, so they're not, you know, straight staring on top of their neighbor. But I think it looks a lot better than when the last people were in here, that's for sure. We'll see you guys in the next one. Later. Got the one random last little tooth versus Hoss here will put a little hard face on there, grinder to sharpen it up just a little bit. Runner again.
Yeah, I remember seeing one somewhere.
It was pretty buried. It was pretty scratched.
The guy changed them like every 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
When you have to weld on there, you don't have to hardly weld any. I didn't make them sharp because I figured as soon as
that big old chunk that we had to cut out of that tree, you could tell where the teeth were or the knives were. They were walking through it, and then when it started getting wide, it started hitting. See the carbide here? They are getting a little beat up, but it's like
there's some new ones.
Yeah,
they're not much better.
To replace the whole set of these is over $4 grand. But you put these on here. These, it's like a second thought because they didn't make cool knives for these, but it's a little insert you add onto it, onto another pocket. So when we're grinding up big stuff, what are you doing, Emma? Oh yeah, yeah. Emma, I'm talking about a mulcher. Get off my, get her, boom. Get her, boom. Anyway, this makes it way, way quicker. And then you can rotate them so you get 2 uses out of them. See, that's one that he's touched up. Huh. I think we're like averaging like 2 loads a day. Kind of. Real close. The bigger stuff adds up real quick. That's 2 loads and all the brush and everything cleaned up. Not just 2 loads. Cut, limbed, skidded. That's everything done.
just for you guys that stuck through till this part of the video, thank you. Give me a hell yeah brother in the comments, and this will be a sneak peek at the new unit and an upcoming video. It is sweet.